Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over our first day in Ultra League. And the team I decided to use was the same team I said I was going to use in the best teams video, which was the first team in that video. That team is Shadow Feraligatr in the lead, safe swapping Giratina altered, and having Annihilape for a closer. So you want to basically try to get shields with Feraligatr. You want to safe swap Giratina altered, and then you want to have some sort of shield or energy advantage going into that final matchup with Annihilape. So for you'll see in the first battle, make sure you change your move sets. So I just built Feraligatr, so there's some problems there. And I haven't used Giratina Altered in a long time, and ended up having Dragon Breath on it, which I ended up keeping. But in the video I said I was going to definitely use Shadow Claw, but I actually really liked Dragon Breath for the first game, and then I was like, you know what? Let me keep Dragon Breath until something pops up to where I really wish I had Shadow Claw, and that kind of never came, so I decided to use Dragon Breath. Let's go ahead and just get into the battles really quick, since there's going to be a lot of them. I wanted to showcase a lot of Ultra League, and yeah, here it is. So let's get started. Obviously, this lead, Virizion, very bad for us, but, you know, Virizion's hard countered by Giratina, so that's good. And also, we're going to be double resisting on Giratina and Annihilape, you're going to be double resisting the double kicks. So, Greninja is definitely a mon I forgot about being even in Ultra League. So, maybe going back to the drawing board, I think Giratina is actually pretty sick. It's obviously frail, but it gets to its moves so fast. Water Shuriken is just so broken. We get a shield advantage here, but I think I can win Switch, and I think I want to win Switch because their Virizion already has a bunch of energy, so we go for the winning Switch there. And that's why Dragon Breath is kind of so broken. This is a mistake here. Obviously, if you have the chance to go for a neutral move of Shadow Sneak and Dragon Claw, I would go with Dragon Claw. And obviously, we don't make it to the move. We're pretty hard punished here. But it's fine. We ended up winning Switch, so we can get Feraligatr hopefully onto something good. We're going to let one hit us. You do survive two. You'll be pretty low. After all I guess if you're even energy is what I should be saying, because you obviously live by a lot here, but the double kicks do end up adding up eventually, even though they're double resisted. But yeah, I get a bit of an energy advantage here going into the final matchup. It's against Poliwrath, which I did see a ton of Poliwrath, but I figure if I just get one of these off, I can go for the Hydro Cannons, and actually Hydro Cannon does something like 35%. Look at my move there on the left side. It's not Hydro Cannon. So yeah, our very first battle of Ultra League, and we're seeing some mistakes. So then I'm like, I'll just go for the Ice Beam, I guess. And maybe I should have just gone for the Hydro Pump. But yeah, I mean, we double resist counter on Annihilape, so I'm like, let's let the energy go through here, and I'll get to an Ice Punch. They're going to get to a move. We have a shield. The only thing that's really scary is Icy Wind here, which they obviously do. And we might not KO with this Ice Punch, but we double resist the counters, so I'm going to go for it anyways, and we can maybe counter it down if not. So we get the win there. Oh, and I just wanted to showcase, yeah, instantly, I'm like, let's go into Feraligatr here, and let's add Hydro Cannon back on, on for the first time. So Toxicroak, I know that it gets Mud Bomb, and I know it has the new move Shadow Ball, so really Shadow Ball is the thing I'm most scared of. I actually go for, I think, a catch for Sludge Wave. I think they end up throwing the Mud Bomb anyways, so good for us, I guess. I do have the energy. They actually go for a big energy advantage there. They come in Steelix. Steelix obviously really bad for us in the Giratina matchup. Haven't seen... Steelix is probably still pretty good. I would say I haven't seen one since the Breaking Swipe nerfs. Man, it's been so long I don't even remember the name of it. Yeah, once Breaking Swipe got nerfed, I noticed a big drop off in Steelix usage. I mean, it's obviously still really good. Psychic Fangs is good. If you ever get into a Dragon matchup, you're just dominating that matchup. I'm going to come in probably with actually Feraligatr and maybe let 2 moves pop off because Psychic Fangs is going to be super effective, and then I don't want them to go into a matchups that's good for them. And then I have this Hydro Cannon, and I think I'm just going to switch and go for the Farm Down. So now we banked that Hydro Cannon. We have a big energy advantage here going into this matchup. I can just go for straight Shadow Ball. I think I remember this game, and I think oh no, I don't remember this game because I thought they were going to bait. It must have been a different Walrein game. All right, Ampharos lead. You can throw right away since it's technically good timing. I don't know why I said technically. It is good timing. It's the best timing you can have. So I'm like, I'll try to catch. They end up not throwing. Good for them. They probably have Brutal Swing here, which is going to be tough. But we do already have an energy or a shield advantage. So that's kind of just what I'm aiming for here. An energy or a shield advantage or an energy advantage going into the Annihilape. I ended up going for the Dragon Claw. I almost went for the Shadow Claw again, which would have been a Shadow Sneak rather, which would have been a mistake because I ended up getting the 2 here, which is pretty sweet. Only thing is I think I'm definitely going to come in with Feraligatr. It is in Hydro Cannon range, and I just want to eat up a little bit of this energy. We don't get this the move through here, which sucks. It really sucks when you don't get the move through because I think we don't end up making it. But I think this is actually in counter down range. Is it? I don't know. I think it is. Yeah, it is actually. So we get a huge energy advantage here going in with Annihilape. And, okay, yeah. They come in with Ampharos, and I just go for the KO move. I don't want to mess around. And then they have Skeledirge in the back. So I go for the Shadow Ball because we're really close to a move, right, on Feraligatr, so I kind of don't care about, I don't need to bait, right? I don't want to go for a bait there. Dragonite, really not a good lead, but I have noticed a good way of playing this out for me, or the one that I like, is just going straight Hydro Cannon and then switching instantly to Giratina. And then not shielding, basically, taking this damage. If they try to go for 2 Dragon Claws, you obviously outpace to the second one. So you can probably get another shield. Oh my god, I keep going. This is tilting me, actually. Why do I keep going for the Shadow Sneaks? Definitely go for the Dragon Claws. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't have mattered here, but definitely should be going for the Dragon Claws. They're just better. He's got a bit of advantage here, but technically we survive a Scald. Maybe I'm just going to go for a farm down. Or a farm and then maybe an Ice Punch. Yeah, we just go for this Ice Punch here. We did get the debuff. But we get that farm down. Alright, ends up being Skeledirge. Should have gone for 2 counters. Definitely would have been better to do that. And then I'm going to switch into this. I think I can just get the farm down. And then they throw here, and I kind of hope this KOs me so that they don't get a ton of energy, and then I can just farm this down with Annihilape. And it's a perfect farm down, right? Like literally 1 turn before they get to the next one. And then I just decide they're super low. I'm going to go for the resisted move, even though counter's double resisted, because I can get to 2 of these. Or I can just farm it down in the end game here. And that last counter definitely KO'd, which is great because they have 2 disarming voices. Alright, Skeledirge in the lead is really good for us. Should have switched in right away to Giratina, but it's also okay. We kind of resist everything unless it runs Aerial Ace. I did see 1 with Aerial Ace. I think I ended up only seeing 3 Galicipods, but Galicipod is very good in Ultra League, so probably worth using, especially against like Feraligatr. It's very good against the Feraligatr moveset of Hydro Cannon and Ice Beam. You can just throw X-Scissor, and you always have liquidation for anything that Feraligatr would be good against. So I actually think I will try a Galicipod team, and to be honest, I want to try a... I'm forgetting the name of the mon, the Dark Watermon with Water Shuriken. Why can't I remember it? I'll remember it before the end of the video. Someone let me know in the comments below. I am not good with names. But I'm going to try that one too. I think it's actually really good. And I get a little greedy here. I go for the super effective move. I think it's fine. I already have a ton of energy on this. The only thing I gotta really be worried about is the Shadow Ball from here. I think I end up going for the no shield here. Yeah, we survive anyways, and then they end up having a wall rain in the back. Second wall rain sighting in this video, which I think I did only see 2. Maybe I'm forgetting one and I saw 3, but a surprising amount of wall rain, considering. But I guess it's really good against Giratina. And that actually reminds me, another reason for Dragon Breath being pretty good is running into Greedent. I think we actually only ran into 2 Greedents. I think I showed one of the battles here in the video. But yeah, it's going to be pretty good. I end up going for... I go for the move that's actually going to do something there, but we don't get there, but really no reason to go for an Ice Punch there because I'm either going to get to the Hydro Cannon or not. I'm either going to get to the Shadow Ball or not, and the extra damage isn't going to do anything. Annihilate leads, really good for us. We come into Feraligatr, which is not great for us, but it's okay. You can win the shield matchups. I go for the Ice Beam bait. They don't bait, but now they can just go for Hydro Cannon. But we can win this matchup if we want to, or we can just allow this to go down and then come in maybe with Feraligatr or Annihilape and go for the farm down. I think I probably let it go because it will still have a super effective Shadow Claws. I go for this farm down. I'm just going to let a hit come through. I actually think they end up getting to 2 here, which is not great, but 1 is definitely okay. We're going to have a huge lead here. Oh, they don't get to 2. This is fantastic for us. They come in with Empoleon. This is obviously resisted, but I wanted to get some amount of energy off here before switching, and yeah, we have a lead here with Annihilape, so I actually end up going for the bait here. I mean, it's 2 shields to 2 shields. Maybe they have to make a call, but it's super risky to make a call as well. So once I get this off, I'm in pretty good position. I could bait again if I wanted to, if they end up baiting. They end up throwing the Shadow Ball here, which means I know I can go straight Shadow Ball, and I do. I just go for it right away. I guess I could have waited. I could have gone 1 more counter. Oh, actually, I could have gone like 3 more counters, but it's okay. I just wanted to get to the Annihilate. Gallade, this is a risky matchup. They have Leaf Blade, and they obviously outpace, but we have Shadow Claw, and that's doing a lot of damage, and they also have the shields with Hydro Cannons, except that they catch. But luckily, it's an Empoleon, and I know I can just go straight into Annihilate. Drill Peck's not going to KO us. The only thing I really want to do is make sure they don't get to 2... I say make sure, it's all fast attacks. I really don't want them to get to another Drill Peck. So, but we are able to counter them down if they do come in with... It's weird. I clicked the move, I thought, but I guess it didn't go through. But they come back in with Gallade. They're probably going to end up using 2 shields here, and they know this next one is just an Ice Punch. But I think they're pretty low anyways. They probably have to shield. But the fact that I've already gotten Switch means that I can come in with Giratina. Giratina is not affected by any of these moves. We resist Leaf Blade. We don't resist Close Combat. And I know that I have a shield advantage going into the last matchup. So it is Greninja, and that's the Pokemon I was talking about as the one I definitely want to use. I can throw one of these before switching, and I am going to switch just because Feraligatr kind of has no play here. It is resistant to the Shadow Claws, and it's going to definitely outpace. So I decided to throw in Feraligatr just to eat up all this energy. But if I'm able to get to a move, I'm going to go for the move. And this probably KOs because it's so frail, even though it is resisted. And this is going to be a simultaneous KO if I just don't throw the moves. I just didn't throw because I wanted to save time. They, again, a bad lead, but you can go for a bit of an energy advantage, which is what I go for. And on this one, I'm pretty sure I do decide to shield the first move because I want to go to the shields here. And since they are Shadow, I think that you can win all these shield scenarios. They actually end up going for baits here, which is not great for me, but we do already have a bit of an energy advantage, and winning Switch, again, would be very good for us. Obviously, we don't want to Grassmon into our Watermon, and I go for a CMP here, which is pretty bad. I actually thought I was going to get there 1 turn early, but you know what? We win Switch. It did cost us an extra shield, so that's not good, but at the end of the day, we did do what we came in to do with this matchup. All right. They wait the full clock. They come in Verizian. Obviously, this is pretty good for us. The worst thing this could be a Stone Edge, but the fact that it's Leaf Blade means we probably live this next one too. It's pretty close, but hopefully we can get a move off here. That would be nice for us. Yeah, and we do. And at least it's a little bit of damage. We're definitely going to come in with Annihilape after it KOs us. Obviously, we don't want it to throw a Leaf Blade into our Feraligatr. They ended up coming in with Tentacruel, and I was like, okay, this is pretty bad for us, I guess. Kind of. I mean, they resist the counters, but yeah, the Scald are going to do a lot. So I end up switching right away, which is great for us. We catch the Scald, but Scald's still doing a lot of damage. We do get the debuff there. I noticed a lot of the nameplates aren't coming up for the moves anymore. If you ever have a buff or debuff move, I haven't seen one of those pop up in a while. I think that's most recent to. I think that is recent to the most recent patch. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. Doesn't show the super effective or not very effective either. So just be on the lookout for. I guess at this point you just kind of have to know your typings, and be on the lookout. Still, the little droplets come down over the head when you get a buff or a debuff. So, or I guess that's just the debuff one, and then it's just the for the buffs. So definitely something to keep track of. Como O, I actually have, I believe, a rank 1 Como O from like 2, 3, 4 seasons ago at this point. I haven't used it in a while, but it does have Brick Break now, and it might be worth trying out. So that's another mon I might be looking at. We'll see though. Since I have the energy advantage, I'm like, okay, I mean, I can force shields here. I kind of want to come in with Annihilape, but kind of don't. Obviously, both my mon in the back are taking super effective from the fast attacks. I might just let my Feraligatr go down to get an energy advantage. Yeah, and that's what I end up doing. I end up coming in with Giratina. That's interesting. I guess because it has to get to Ice Beam, whereas it would only have to get to Hydro Cannon. And I have a bit of an energy advantage coming into Como O, which is pretty nice. So, I mean, Ideal super effective to it as well. Just wanted to make sure it didn't switch, so I fired off this during the middle of a Dragon Tail animation. If he goes for another one, great for him. If he doesn't, we'll get a slight energy advantage here. But yeah, we'll get a little bit of energy advantage. It ends up being Empoleon in the back, and they end up quitting. All right, Gliscor lead. I was like, hell yeah, this is a great lead for me. And then I was like, what do I do here? Because Ice Punch is going to be super effective. Shadow Ball is going to be super effective. And then I was like, maybe I just stay in. Giratina is probably not horrific against Gliscor, but it does have Night Slash. So then I was like, I don't really know. And then our opponent has Night Slash, and they got the boost. So that's cool. I believe with all of that coming in, we end up going for the shields here, and then I'm just like, okay, well, I outpaced because they switched in. Screw it. We're just going for the winning matchup here, and we'll figure out what to do against Gliscor later. And I believe they end up showing a different mon here. I don't remember what their last mon was in this game. Something weird's happening with my top right. Wi-Fi is going in and out. So I end up getting an energy advantage here on Annihilape, and I'm like, okay, I have the Ice Punch, so I think I'm just going to get to the Ice Punch and then swap out. I actually end up going one below, but I couldn't let him throw another move onto me, otherwise I get KO'd. I need that Ice Punch for the Gliscor because it's going to be double super effective and can KO it. They end up going for another Night Slash here. I guess all their mon have Night Slash, which is interesting. Maybe he's really against Giratina. They catch, which is pretty good for them. But I think at the end of the day, it's not very good because they don't have a move on Greninja. Maybe they should have just saved a Hydro Cannon and then swapped and just eat this matchup for whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, we're one away from Ice Punch. I believe they're also one away from the next Night Slash, and I'm sure we win CMP. Oof. No, they actually have the move. Oh, it's 5-4. Yeah, true. Okay, well, they're not at a move on Greninja, so we're just going to get the counter down here. Since Water Shuriken is a 3-turn move, we get to get 2 counters through. So, GG. All right, Greedent lead. And then I was like, I decided, I'm not that scared of Greedent, I guess. because we can go for a ton of energy here. Obviously, they're going to get a ton of energy. I already tell you right now, I remember this game, and I kept it in because I was so tilted at the end of this game. We'll see why. So Clefairy comes in, or Clefable rather. Clefable seems really good as well. Obviously, Fairy Wind with Moonblast and Meteor Mash for coverage, and yeah, it's a pretty good mon in this league. Just neutrally pretty good, and can get into really good matchups like this one. And if you land a Moonblast, you can go for the farm down, and you're not really affected by too many moves. Even Shadow Sneak or Ancient Power, not too bad. Okay, here's where I get tilted because I have 2 Hydro Cannons loaded, and my moves don't show up. Cool, really cool, Niantic. So I end up having to burn a shield here, and I'm already at 100 energy. So really, just a loss here. Just kind of losing stuff here, and they come in with a Giratina. I end up catching a Body Slam. Great for me. I'll tell you right now, like I already feel super tilted again from this game, but like, we do end up losing this game, and I end up throwing a Hydro Cannon at the end to get into the Gradient just to see how much damage it does. I was already going to lose this matchup, but I wanted to see the damage because obviously it's Ultra League, and these are a new mon, and I haven't seen necessarily the damage that they would do. Like a Feraligatr has a super high attack stat. And just to see if that really screwed me or not, because they end up coming through here. But obviously we get a huge energy advantage here. If we're able to have survived a Body Slam from here, then I think we would have won this game because we would have had one more shield. So let's say I shield this move, and they would probably get to another Body Slam before I get to another one. It would have been close, but I would have rather had the chance to win than to just be totally screwed like that. Anyways, coming into this Poliwrath lead, so I usually let them just throw move. I get the huge energy advantage, and then I think I swap to Giratina. Yeah. And they can get an Icy Wind off here, but it doesn't do that much damage. It is super effective, but it kind of only does like 30%, which I'm fine with. They end up coming in with Gradient. This is a reason why we have Dragon Breath, but obviously we are reduced right now. But, you know, Dragon Breath's a one-turn move, so it's still doing a ton of damage to this Gradient. And really, we're only affected if it has Crunch. Some amount of Gradients will run Trailblaze, so that's good to know. But not very many. I think in Ultra League, it's a little different than how it is in Great League, and where you can really run Trailblaze and do some stuff, because you kind of need that crunch for basically kind of just for the Giratinas. Oh, and Annihilate. But I think this guy ends up throwing just right away, so we double resist the Body Slam. They're going to get to another move. Gradient is just so fast at the moves. Obviously, I will be trying Gradient in Ultra League, because I even said in my last video, it's just so bulky and such a safe swap in this meta. So they end up coming in with a it's half dark type Skunk Tank. So I'm like, okay, I'll just stay in this matchup. Obviously our lead was pretty good, so we'll just do as much as we can. Oh wait, the lead is Poliwrath. It's not very good, but this is our best matchup here because it does resist the Shadow Claws, and I'm just going straight Ice Punch. I'm just trying to do as much damage as I can. I'm going to keep the shield in the back here, even if they shield, and they end up not shielding, and I just go for, I have 2 Hydro Cannons here, so I'm just going for a little bit of damage as much as I can, and yeah, that's going to be GG in this game. We still have the Annihilape in the back. It has enough HP to where you're going to be surviving infinite number of counters because we double resist, and yeah, GG. Nidoqueen. This is definitely one I haven't seen in a few seasons, but you outpace because it's still nerfed to it takes 6 to get to its first move, and since it only takes you 5, technically you can just stay in this matchup and just shield once. and then go for the second Hydro Cannon. If they shield twice, just move over to Giratina. Get those debuffs off you. You're taking way too much damage in the fast attacks, and you can always you can always leverage this later for something else, even if it's just an Ice Beam that you're going to be firing off into whatever is in the back there. So they and Mana Buzz. Ice Beam's good against Mana Buzz. So obviously this matchup is very bad, and they reduced the defense of our Giratina. So what I'm most afraid of in this matchup is basically a Dark Pulse and a Farm Down, which is what I would do and what this person ends up doing, I believe. But, we're going to do as much damage as we can. We do have the Dragon Breath again, another reason kind of not to go Shadow Claw. Again, as I said at the beginning of the video, I accidentally went into this with Dragon Breath on Giratina, but now I'm sticking with it here, especially for this team comp. I assume this is a Dark Pulse and this is just going to be neutral, but it actually ends up being Aerial Ace. I don't know if our opponent looked at the top left or the top right of our typings, or if they just actually threw Aerial Ace into Feraligatr. But I'm going to be able to farm this down before they get to the third. I had that extra shield, and now I have just so much energy. This might have been a mistake. I was like, man, it's super effective. I'm just going for the Ice Punch. But now I have to throw 2 into it. And then I don't know who wins CMP. I feel like Annihilape does, but instead of risking it, I just throw 1 early. And they end up coming in with Poliwrath. But we should get to the Shadow Ball at the same time as they get to Icy Wind. So I just throw right away. And then I probably just switch. Yeah, because they have to throw something here. And then I'm hoping that an Ice Punch is enough to KO this, which I probably will be. And then I actually they end up going for Icy Wind, and I do end up living. If they had gone for Scald, this game could have been a little bit different, but they would have obviously had to have gone or had just a huge energy gain there at the end. So this team, I said it in the last video of the best teams, or the teams that I thought were the best 4.5 teams in Ultra League, and this is the one I said I was going to try first because I thought it was the best of those teams. And yeah, I mean, obviously it worked out. Definitely you should try it. Annihilape kind of just slaps in this league. So I feel like maybe I will skew the best teams that I saw and maybe try some more Annihilape teams, or maybe try to throw Como-O in with Annihilape, or maybe even Annihilape lead with Como-O and Greedent in the back. I don't know. We'll have to see what I cook up here. But thanks for watching the video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.